Hey off-goers, Muse here, and before we get into the last episode of the Going Off podcast of 2015, I just wanted to tell you guys about a few Patreon perks you may not know about that pertain to this very podcast. If you've ever sat around and wondered, man, it would be great if Rap Critic and Muse talked about this album. I never hear anyone talking about this album. They would do a great review. Well, you know what? You can get that review. Both of us, Rap Critic and myself, have $20 pledge levels on our Patreon pages that allow you to suggest an album for us to review on the podcast. If you have a business, a band, your own web channel, your own YouTube channel, anything that you would like promoted on the podcast, that is yours for a $10 pledge. With a $10 pledge to patreon.com/muse, you get your business, band, website, whatever mentioned at the top of the show, and you get an ad half minute to a minute, Jesus Christ, played at the midway point of the podcast. And if you want to bear witness to how we make the magic happen, for $40 to patreon.com/muse, you can sit in live on a recording of a segment of an upcoming Going Off podcast. You can have the fly on the wall experience, bird's eye view, and you can hear us fuck around, interact with us, listen to the show before it gets edited down, and hear all the bullshit I eventually have to cut out. So one last time, going over it all really fast. If you want an album reviewed on the podcast, that's $20 to patreon.com/muse or $20 to patreon.com/rapcritic. If you want something promoted on the podcast, that's $10 to patreon.com/muse. And if you want to sit in on a live recording of a segment of an upcoming episode of the Going Off podcast, that is $40 to patreon.com/muse. Now, on with the show. I'm so heartless, thoughtless, lawless, and flawless, smartless regardless, largest in charge, and born in New Orleans, get killed for Jordan, skateboard I'm gnarly, Muse, Rap Critic, and we're going off. Going Off podcast. The finale of 2015.
The hell was that?
That was the final line from Truffle Butter.
Oh, yeah.
From, Wayne's verse.
Yeah.
You know, his song is not as bad as I thought it was going to be going in, having a song called Truffle Butter, and it being what it was. But, the beat was really cool, and, I don't know. Last week, we talked about, Miley Cyrus and how she's like, oh my god, I'm all in your face about this weed shit. Can I just point out, you know, we'd already talked about people with the smoke clouds on their album covers. Right before Wayne's verse in this song, you have to hear a fucking lighter flicking and the puffing and the exhaling. It's like, dude, we get it.
Oh, he does that a lot.
It's just like, come the fuck on.
That's his motif. Like, get it? I'm smoking weed.
In the studio right now, are you? Really? I somehow doubt it, and I believe that was added in post.
It'd be funny if that was like if you hear it in different songs and it sounds like the exact same way.
Yeah, like you can tell it's from a sound effects CD. Like, wait a minute, it's the exact same length.
Yeah.
Before we started recording, you asked me if I heard about something that happened today.
Yeah,
and honestly, I haven't heard about anything that happened today, so no.
I'm not feeling too in the Going Off spirit.
You sound like you're feeling some type of way.
Yeah, so, you remember about Tamir Rice last year, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
About that.
So, the officers involved, will not be indicted for what happened. Now, I know, guys, I know you guys are already like, oh, this isn't gonna be fun, turn it off. But, I just want to be for real here. No politics, no fucking, you know what I mean? Like, a 12-year-old kid. And I don't mean to, like, appeal to your local, but, like, let's be fucking real. Like, let's be, like, upfront about this. A 12-year-old died because, not because, oh, yeah, he was carrying, the gun looked like a real toy. No. He died because of a bullshit history that has set up the idea that, you know, black people look scary. And so when it comes down to it, take him out. You know, and it's not an overt racist thing. It's not like you went to school the first day and they said, now here's how to be afraid of black people. No.
I only just now are getting bits and pieces of it, you know, coming on my Facebook. I'm not seeing it too much. But honestly, and this is like the worst way to feel, but I see this shit every fucking day, it seems. It's honestly, remember back when it was like, remember their names, and there were like 6? You fucking can't keep up now. It's like, I'd love to. I'd love to be able to throw this shit in people's faces, but I can't fucking keep track of how many fucking unarmed, harmless people are gunned down out of, yeah, just like you said, just like passed down just because we're not addressing a history of inherent racism.
And fuck all the people say, oh, the world's not fair. No, fuck that. Because you know what I just read yesterday? I read about this 66-year-old woman.
White woman.
Who was, yeah, white woman, carried I believe it was a fake gun as well. Aimed it at 2 people that she thought was police. They ran away. And then she actually got to some police. She was like, shoot me! Shoot me! She got the benefit of a doubt!
Yeah.
That's all we need. Just give these kids the benefit of a doubt. And I don't want to hear the bullshit. I don't want to hear the bullshit. Because I looked it up. I specifically, you know what I like to do? I like to look up, okay, what are the people who are not with this? What would they, the people who are typically not, you know, on board with social justice things and all that bullshit. Like, what? And all that bullshit. Well, you know, he was like 195 pounds. He should have, his parents should have told him to not act like he was grown. And, you know, he's carrying in this thing and he ripped off the orange part because, you know, those black. It's just, as soon as you see it, you can just tell there's this sort of, the internal fear of black people. Like, you should have known that you were a threat, so you should have done everything possible to not be threatening. For God's sakes, if you are a black person, you need to walk down the street in your fucking underwear. No shoes or socks, just to make sure that we don't have, because if you have something, I don't know, you might be hiding something. I don't know. That's not fair. That he had to die because of this subtle institutionalized racism that we don't want to address because we're good people. We're good people. We're not racist. You can't say we're racist. In fact, if you say we're racist, you're racist. And in fact, because of that, I'm going to more align myself with people who are obviously fucking neo-Nazis than address the idea that there are problems in America. I looked up this one site called Breitbart.
Oh, don't even fucking waste your time with that bullshit. Oh my god. Fuck them. Fuck them.
I had no idea.
A website, by the way, I don't want to divert too much, but a website that in an article said that the rainbow flag was a sign of hatred and bigotry against people bigoted against homosexuals. Like, fuck off. Seriously, fuck off. We fucking get it. A website that also has a new article says, scientists who are actually stupid and wrote an article about, fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson claiming that the only reason white people, specifically white people, because it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about Neil deGrasse Tyson, the only reason that white liberals like Neil deGrasse Tyson so much is because they can't believe that a black man is that smart. Are you fucking kidding me?
Talk about fucking projection.
Like, yeah, that's all that fucking bullshit is. So yeah, everybody, do yourself a favor. I don't even know what you're about to say, but in every possible instance, no matter what the circumstance, fuck Breitbart.
You know what's funny? I looked at this article, and like, for most of it, it can't do too much to be like, you know what? You know, like, it tried, well, like, this is the article, it's a right-wing article, people, right? I get down there, I get through most of the article, they're not really saying anything bad. You know, they're just saying, here are people who commented on it, here's what's happening. And it's not till the last two paragraphs. And they say, quote, as an example of the racial animosity that's been stirred up since President Obama took office.
Oh.
I can't even finish the rest of that sentence. They just went to just other place. Just, like, here's this thing about this black kid who's been, just this kid who's been shot within 2 seconds of a policeman getting out of the car. They obviously didn't ask any questions. They just pulled up, shot him. They didn't even say anything about, like, well, he had a toy gun, but he should have known better. No, they didn't say anything like that. But then the first thing, after all this, like, just detailing what has happened, they say, as an example of the racial animosity that's been stirred up since President Obama took office, like, they just pulled in a completely different thing. Like, President Obama has nothing to do with it.
Which is really to say, man, we were racists before, but we've become such more overt racists since Obama took office because we can't fucking handle it.
Through no fault of our own.
No, that's seriously what they're saying.
We just couldn't help being more racist.
Because what else would that mean? What else would that mean besides we haven't been able to handle a black man in power and it's pissed us off more? Why would that make racial animosity worse from black people's perspective? It wouldn't.
Like, cause yeah, the thing that he seems to be trying to say is that, like, maybe black people have gotten more angry since Obama got into the presidency.
Which, according to Breitbart, they would probably say, because he didn't deliver on his promises to the community. I'd fucking bet you. It just sounds perfectly in line.
Cause like, on whose side is this racial animosity being stirred up from?
It doesn't say, conveniently.
Yeah. But I just love it. It just started happening. He was elected president, and here's what I love. Because it tells so much. It's so telling for them to say, that's been stirred up since President Obama. You want to know what that means? That means, honestly, they haven't had to think about any racial problems before President Obama became president.
They didn't even fucking think about it.
They legitimately think that there were no problems until this black guy started throwing his weight about. You know what's really funny? He actually has not brought up race that much. Specifically because he especially for his first presidency, because he was like, well, I don't want to piss these people off who are already angry at me by way of me being black in the first place. Like, when they heard about this happening, this is just the first thing they thought of was, this is probably Obama's fault. Like,
oh yeah.
I love it. I can't even get to the rest of the sentence. I just love it. As an example of the racial animosity that's been stirred up since President Obama took office, it was all his fault. It was all his doing. There would be fucking racial harmony if only Obama wasn't president.
Man, where's that alternate Mitt Romney timeline that we could just see what could have been? Because I'm sure it would have been peachy keen. That really is the one deciding factor. I gotta say, as I've been writing, because believe it or not, people, I have been working on my year-end video. While I'm writing that script, I like to have things on in the background, not too distracting from my work, but interesting enough in the background to listen to. And I've put on old debates, and I've been listening to old debates from the Kennedy-Nixon debate, fucking Bush and Kerry. And last night, I listened to Clinton, Bush, and Perot from 1992. And the topic of crime came up. And for someone who was for the longest time called the first black president and beloved by the African American community, so much to the point that people just assume that Hillary has the African American vote in her pocket because she's married to Bill. Bill's response to how we were gonna take care of the crime issue? More cops. Just, that's it. we just need more cops. To the point where he said, let's give scholarships to people who are willing to volunteer to work as mall cops. What? Are you fucking serious? That's it. That's why. And to hear him say, we need to take the assault rifles off the streets to, I do believe this was after Rodney King. I want to say this was after Rodney King. If not, this was definitely after a good string of police brutality. Give the police a fighting chance. Let's take the guns off the streets because police are powerless. But somehow, he's heralded as being the voice of the people. Now, I don't know. Maybe times were different in 92. I was looking at that town hall meeting. There were maybe two black people in the room. Maybe 3. Tops. So maybe times are different. But, no. I don't fucking see it. I don't really think Obama is to blame. I'm not even saying that fucking Clinton is to blame. But no, it's absolutely stupid to believe that there is not a history of racism in this country.
I will say this. I think any candidate or anyone that says, we have a problem with this, what do we need to do? Just keep doing it more. Mm-hmm. They automatically are probably not the don't have your interest at heart.
What I've said is, and I was on Reddit, and I saw an article that was saying that turn of the century amusement parks would, as a game, that would have a live black man stick his head through a curtain, and people would throw balls at his fucking face, and you would win prizes if you hit him. They figured that this was inhumane, so they replaced it with dunk tanks. Still insisted that it be black people, though.
What? What? Why?
Some people could look at this and be like, man, at least it's not that bad anymore. But I think it's more constructive to not pay attention to that, but pay attention to why it's not that bad anymore. Because we're looking how bad it is now. And yeah, I'm pretty sure 50 years from now, we might be looking back now and say, man, at least it's not that bad anymore. But shit's gotta be done. And I'm not saying it's all 100% blame on the black community like a lot of people. Did you watch that video of the, oh god, it was on the news. It was like a month or two ago. It was a black correspondent. He would always talk about black issues. And then they had a female who, like a white female who worked on the news station, and they debated, I forget exactly what it was, but it was basically around guns. And the white woman kept throwing this shit in the guy's face about, like, well, you people need to work on the interracial violence. Like, I'm not saying that the blame is all, you guys need to figure that shit out. Because I think partially, and Breitbart is really shining some light on it, there's a good deal of people who are just either ignorant to the fact or straight up denying that there is a serious issue.
With white people?
with fucking white people not being able to acknowledge that there is fucking racism because it doesn't directly affect them. And here's why I think it's a problem. Here's something I think needs to change. There is a stigma against white people or anyone that isn't black caring or wanting to help black causes.
Right. Look what happened to Macklemore.
You don't want to be white knighted. You don't want to be labeled a white knight. I don't understand what the fuck. Like, when the first time I heard white knight, it was under the guise of someone sticking up for women because they wanted to get laid. Like, yeah, women, you people, you women do deserve.
Yeah, the only reason you could possibly want to, help out a woman's issues is because you want to get laid.
Yeah, let's not acknowledge the fact that there were a good deal of white people arrested in the 60s for trying to help out at,
Thank God the internet wasn't around back then. Fucking white guys.
White people that were arrested at civil rights marches, actually fighting for racial equality.
Shit, white, Jewish.
Yeah. Fucking Bernie Sanders was at the goddamn I Have a Dream speech.
And then this fucking article says, the Rice decision will almost certainly be the basis for more protests by Black Lives Matter. What the fuck do you think?
Like, what else could it possibly do?
I love it. I love it that they're like, the real problem is... the problem isn't kids being killed by police. The problem is the people protesting the people being killed by police. What you should do instead is not go, you're the bigot, I found who you are, you're a bad person. You should go like, this is why this is like this. And I'm not saying that you're a bad person and that you're wrong, but you need to understand how this works. And I think that's the bit of the problem with these, social justice people or whatever. A lot of the problem is they go like, they get into their sort of thing where it's like, I'm in the right on this thing, instead of trying to reach out to people who are on that other side, who are the people who need to hear these things the most. Right. You know what I'm saying? They get caught up in preaching to the choir. So it's like, yeah, I know that this thing is socially right, but it's like whenever I see that on like a website that's like, already sort of like into the, social justice, whatever thing, it's like, that's great that you're talking to these people, but these aren't the people that you need to talk to. Yeah. You need to talk to the people on Breitbart or whatever. You need to, like, the people who frequent those sites. You know what I'm saying? Those are the people you need to talk to, because they need to be engaged. They need to not be told, your ideology is wrong, you're wrong, and then they go like, well, fuck you, I'm just going to go talk to the people that agree with me. They need to be told, no, see, like, this is why this is like this, and this is how this is happening, and this is how you're possibly contributing to this being a problem. For example, George Zimmerman, right? People who were, rightfully so, going like, dude, fuck you. It's like, fuck you, George Zimmerman. You're like, you're an asshole. You did a horrible thing. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, okay, but how do you think that's good? What people don't think about is, how's that going to make things right? Like, sure, hey, you feel like a great person because I've identified who the racist bad person is, but like, how is that going to help? No, what that did was push him away from wanting to do anything, socially more good. And it pushed him to people who are willing to back that type of shit, that type of ideology. Like, think about it. Do you really think if he went to a Black Lives Matter movement and was like, hey, I want to work with you guys. I want to, you think that they would accept him?
No.
But what should have happened was those people should have immediately gone to him and be like, dude, we need you to come here. We need to talk to you. We need to be forgiving and welcome him in with open arms. Because only through, and I'm getting kind of like Christian Crusader out here, sorry, but it's like only through forgiveness can you move on and make shit better. That shit is so being put into practice right now. If the public social justice, whatever, the overwatching masses or whatever would have been like, you know what, we need to forgive him and we need to work with him, and so that other people can see this is what happens when you do something wrong. We don't just say you're the bad guy, you're the bad guy, you're the bad guy. We say, hey, let's talk to you. Let's try to educate you. Let's try to figure out where you're coming from and tell you where we're coming from so that you can see where the ideological differences are. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like some people who are listening to this podcast, they probably like heard me angry and they're immediately like, oh, I know what side he's on. Stop video. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying I'm guilty of it myself.
Oh, I know for a fact I am.
And so,
because it's most like it's on my Facebook. If you happen to follow either the Facebook or the Twitter, it usually is pretty one-sided, and it's a voice of outrage, and it's like I see certain websites, like, okay, I'll say this, right? The website, like Huffington Post, will share an article being like, Ted Cruz has just received the praise and the backing of someone who is like the leader of a Pray the Gay Away organization. and I'm sitting there like, I wasn't gonna vote for the motherfucker anyway. Like, I don't need to know this. Like, yeah, like, that makes me upset, but I already fucking hated him. I didn't need another reason to hate him. And it's like, if you're reporting this so more people know, that's great, but that isn't going to make the people who agree with him disagree, or the people who disagree agree. All that does is put that out there. And for journalism, that's fine. But when it gets posted on my Facebook and then I'm sharing it, I'm just sharing it to people who are going to share my stand on it. Because if they didn't have my stance on it, I probably wouldn't be friends with them on Facebook.
And so, like, you know, we kind of put ourselves in these places where, you know, we, like, I know that you know this, and so let me talk to you about this, because it's kind of gratifying to be like, don't you agree? You know? But at the same time, like me personally, you know, people are like, oh, I unfriend all my friends from my hometown that are, like, racist and assholes. No, I stay friends with them. And the reason why is because I want to see what they're thinking. And I want to see if I'm wrong at something. What we need to do to work against that is actively seek out the things that oppose, you know, our ideas. And that's why I look on these sites and be like, okay, what are they thinking? Like, what is going through this mind? And you know, I always think it's like, they're going to come with this thing that's going to be like, okay, that makes sense. But a lot of these, it's really like, dude, I can't believe this. I can't believe you think that shoehorning in fucking Obama and being like, you know, this racist thing is really kind of his fault. It really only sprung up when he took office. It's like, are you fucking serious, man?
Like, was that only for search engine optimization, just so Obama's name could be in the article, so it comes up in search results?
Oh my fucking god, what if? That would, oh, that pisses me off. Dude,
I wouldn't put it past him, honestly.
Oh no, that makes me so angry.
What I think makes it so hard, because I also have a few friends on my Facebook who I have kept around, so to speak, who don't share my ideology or are a bit more conservative, and they will post things every so often that do kind of get my goat. But the thing is, with social media, it's so easy to share a meme, and a meme can say so much, and it says so much that normally people don't comment. All they do is just hit like, and that's it. So there have been times I have tried to be like, hey, what exactly, or whatever, and normally I just get the kind of response of, hey, I wasn't looking for a debate. And it's like, well, then don't post that. Like, don't just assume everyone is gonna fucking think that way, because not everybody does. Real quick, before we go on to any other topics, I just want to bring some good news to the podcast, because I think we need it. Ghostface Killah confirms DOOMStarks album will drop in February.
Yeah.
Oh, come on!
That album's supposed to be coming out since 2008 and shit.
But he's saying it.
Dude, if that shit came out in 2025, that would still be sooner than I would expect it to come out.
Look, give me something to look forward to, man. February is already going to give us the Deadpool movie. And now we got this fucking DOOMStarks. This is fucking Nerdgasm month, man. This is a good bit of shit to look forward to.
It's fucking my birthday month, so, you know.
Hey, there you go.
It's gonna be fun.
Happy birthday to you.
Here's to a new fucking year.
Yes. So, we were talking over the weekend about if we were even gonna do a show this week, and if we were, what album we would be talking about on the show. And at first, we were talking about the possibility of the new Pusha T release. And I wasn't really too up on Pusha T.
Dude, Pusha T is that dude. He's the wonderkind of good music. Like, he's the guy everyone likes. It's like, oh, all right, I'm cool with him. I remember him from the Grindin' song.
See, the only song I remember him from was Move That Dough.
Oh, I completely forgot about that shit. You never heard
Really?
the Grindin' song?
No.
Grinding, you know how to get out of line. Grinding. You know,
No, I never heard that.
Y'all never mind me.
Nope.
I love when people say phrases like that. Never mind me.
I'm just passing through.
Don't give it a second thought.
So no, I didn't really give him a second thought, really. So I was like, why Pusha T? And you had said that it was the best thing out. And without even without minding him, without a second thought, I was just like, no, I'm fucking looking on Bandcamp and I'm gonna find something for us to talk about, because it's been something I've wanted to do for a while.
You're all about that Bandcamp, bro.
I really want to put on the up and comers and people who I'm looking at this guy right now, 1,120 followers on Twitter. Album is a free download, but I will say, after having listened to the album that we will be talking about, I went back and I listened to the newest single off the Push album on YouTube. It was actually pretty good, so it probably wouldn't have been a half bad listen in hindsight. I probably will listen to it anyway. If it's for the podcast or not, who knows?
I went back and checked out Tyler the Creator's album.
Oh, Cherry Bomb?
Yeah, it's actually not bad.
I don't remember what we gave
it
that.
a good rating. I think we were like kind of annoyed at the noisiness.
Oh
of it.
yeah, I was.
Especially with
I
that one
remember
track
that.
was like, it's just really loud. It's like, are you doing this just to like separate the old from the young? Like, just who are the people who are like, yeah, I'm rocking with this because it's loud and raucous, and who are the people that are like, I can't do what you're saying, it's too loud. Well, you're too old.
He's just trying to purge the too old audience. Like, nah, get the fuck out of here. We don't need you. This shit is for the kids.
This is strictly for the kids.
Wu-Tang's for the kids.
Well, I was actually thinking, never mind, fuck it.
Well, I was thinking of something else. Yeah, you ever see that video? OTB.
Oh, dude, ODB is fucking awesome. Oh my god.
Because some fuck song won
P.
best song of the
Diddy's
year.
album, No Way Out or something like that, won best album.
And fucking OTB just goes up on stage and interrupts and, oh, Wu-Tang's for the kids.
Yeah, it's like, Puffy is good, but Wu-Tang is the best. Yes.
I remember fucking the members of Rage Against the Machine were really embarrassed when the one member went up on stage and interrupted Fred Durst winning for like best rock album or whatever. But like, dude, if I was in Wu-Tang and fucking OTB was doing that shit, yeah, I'd be fucking losing my shit in the audience. I'd be causing a fucking scene. Representing up there.
Dude, I'd be laughing my ass off, because we all know Puffy's not... Like, does anyone even remember what the fucking name of that album was?
No.
I mean, I do, because I have to, but, you know...
Oh, because it's your job to remember.
Or I love it. He was on like he was on TRL. I think it was the same year, and they you know, the Fugees are on there, and they're taking calls, and they're talking about like, you know, the Fugees is doing all this charity work and stuff like that. Good on them. And this one lady's calling. He's like, I'm a single mother from, you know, the black community, and I know that the Fugees do a lot of good things for like people, but I was wondering, ODB, what's your personal contribution to the giving back? Like, how are you gonna give back? What are you giving back to the people? And then he like looks around and he goes like, points to himself like, oh, you're talking to me? And then like, yeah, it's like, what are you gonna give back to the community? And he just goes, nothing. And everyone just breaks out into fucking hysterics. And like, damn, old dirty bastard, he's a fucking asshole. I just love that answer. Just looking at it, it's like, me? Oh, fucking nothing. Like, he thought nothing of it. Like, he didn't even get, like, today, if he said that shit, dude, he would have been
my God.
killed by the internet.
He may as well have just said, isn't my time enough? Fucking Bono ass.
But he's just like, nothing. Like, I'm not helping anybody.
Isn't my fucking music charity enough?
But then, like, yeah, it's like, look, I'm helping broke people by not being one of them, goddammit.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, like, after all the laughter dies down, he goes like, but I'll say this. Wait, hold on. But I'll say this. I'll send you a lot of love. Like, I love you. And then it just cuts off and it goes to something else.
Oh.
It's like, I don't think that's a good enough answer.
No.
Not saying that he needs to do jack dick for anyone, but
no.
It's just like, I don't know. I felt like he was like, they're trying to put me on the spot and trying to make me like, you need to do something. And he was just like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not going to do it.
Because that's what you expect me to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Nope. Nothing. Not a goddamn thing.
There are plenty of famous celebrities who haven't given a fucking dime back to people. Why do you expect me to be different?
Yeah, why ODB? Who would expect ODB to be the fucking poster
old dirty
child?
bastard is gonna be the one to save the kids.
Old charitable, decent fellow. That was his name. After he changed it, after he fucking built a playground in a fucking troubled inner city ghetto park.
He should just be like, you know what my name is, right?
Yeah, he just should have, like, his name should have been in the lower thirds, and he just would have, like, pointed down to it. Read that shit. Again, going into the album review, we've done a lot of callbacks.
Oh, yeah, right.
I was just gonna say, we've done a lot of callbacks to previous episodes, and if you are new to the Going Off podcast, first of all, hey, hope you're enjoying the show. Thank you for checking us out. Secondly, if you want to go back and listen to our old previous episodes, you can do so in either a playlist on our, mine, it's shared, YouTube page, or on our SoundCloud. That's soundcloud.com/goingoffpodcast. You can listen to our shows back to back if you want to. All the fucking way.
Oh, man. Now you're making me think about that shit, too. God. Okay. Real quick, because I haven't talked about it on the show yet. I did talk about it.
That's true. Go ahead.
About it on my Twitter, though. I'm about to go off. So, about that whole thing.
Yeah.
Did you see what I said about it, ultimately?
Yes.
I was going to include it on my worst of list. The diss song that Meek Mill did. And I was looking through it. I was like, all right, what lyric can I point to that's like, here's the thing that you said that was kind of stupid. And then do a general thing of why you, like, fucking lost, you know? But then I thought about it, and it was like, the problem with it is, it's not that bad of, like, he didn't say anything that was especially damning, that was like, dude, you fucking suck. But, he didn't, first of all, he fucked up with ruining the momentum 3 times. He stops the track 3 times. Have you heard the song?
No, but I remember you saying that.
Yeah, he stops the fucking track 3 times. And the problem with the thing is like, when Drake did his shit, he hit you once, and then he hit you twice, and that was it. With Meek Mill, he's like, yeah, I'm about to do this, and I'm about to do this. And he stops the track, and he starts playing, like, the Undertaker music. And he's like, yeah, I'm about to show you now. Haha, I'm about to get you. And then he starts rapping it again. And then he pauses the track again to, like, sample P. Diddy for some fucking reason. And the thing about that is, it's like, if you know, you'll know that P. Diddy and Drake got into an altercation, but that sample that he uses says nothing about that. And so it just sounds like, okay, why is this other guy talking? And then he starts rapping again, and it sounds kind of like a chorus. And then he stops again, and he's like, yeah, that's why we gonna get you. Haha. And then he raps like 2 bars, and then it's the end of the song. It just cuts off. And it's like, just on momentum alone, you just fucked up. Because now, because automatically, when you stop a song that many times, you either gotta hit us with something really, like, strong. Because, like, the first thing he did, he showed us, like, the reference track. But he didn't really tell you that it was the reference track. He just says, like, hey, if you're running through the 6, then who is Quentin Miller running through the 6 with? Huh? But he doesn't, like, directly direct your attention to it. So if you're not paying attention, you could be like, okay, so there's this track playing. What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, he should have been like, we got your tapes, and matter of fact, here they go. You know, or some shit like that, or like, oh, play that shit where so-and-so was rapping your verse instead. You know? And it's like, you know, he couldn't have been recording that just for himself, wasting studio time just for himself. And like, dude, you're dating Nicki Minaj, the fucking girl that Drake has been fucking panty sniffing for the last 6 goddamn years.
Yeah.
You ain't have no fire for his ass?
No.
Drake literally said to you, is that a world tour or your girl's tour?
Yeah.
He brought in Nicki Minaj. You need to use the fucking pawn. He should have. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be like, oh, women are pawns. But straight up and fucking down, this is a diss song. You need to throw everything you got at this motherfucker. You need to be like, dude, ain't I fucking the chick that you've been, like, talking about? Didn't you say you're gonna marry this chick? Oh, last year? Oh, but I'm dating her now, aren't I? Gee, I guess that makes it. And she's known you for 6 years, and she didn't consider you dateable? Wow, you must be a fucking douchebag. Like, come on, this is a diss song. Go for fucking blood. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to humiliate him. What the fuck are you doing? You had all the... Drake is a human walking meme, and you did nothing. You did nothing. And on top of that, like, you stopped the track like 3 times, ruining the momentum. Dude. That was the problem. There was no specific lyric that killed him or anything like that. It was just that he didn't hit any points hard enough. Like, did you know that one of T.I.'s, like, homeboys or whatever, accidentally, when he was drunk, pissed on Drake's shoe or pissed on his leg or something like that?
Oh.
He brought that up in the song, but he didn't hit him nearly as hard as he should have hit him about that. It would be like, you pissed off about me, well, so-and-so was pissed on you, or like just something like that. Just like, how do you not use that to kill somebody? And be like, dude, you're the fucking, I don't know, R. Kelly's trying to hang out with you next week. Oh, I wonder why. Like, just something. You could have demolished this guy, and he did nothing of the fucking sort. And I don't mean this from like a, you know I need to be like Kumbaya, and we need to be good people and all this shit, but fuck that. If you're in a Drake beef, if you're in a fucking rap battle, no. This shit is not about being nice.
I really like your armchair diss tracking.
Dude.
Where it's like, man, you should have said this shit. Like, you have more ammunition on Drake than fucking Meek does.
But what I mean is, it's like, it's not that hard.
See, here's the
wouldn't
thing.
have been that hard.
Especially when you have that much ammo. I heard back-to-back for the first time only a couple days ago, because I've not been following this shit. Like, when we talk rock on this show, and you're like, I don't fucking know who that is. That's basically me most of the time with mainstream rap. I don't fucking pay attention to it until about the end of the year, and then I'm just like, oh my god, what the fuck is all this shit? What the fuck is Coco? This is awful.
Drake fucking bodied Meek with that shit. Damn shame. He's talking about what? Trigger fingers turned to Twitter fingers.
Twitter fingers.
Like, what?
Oh, see, like, I listened to that, and I did not know that it was supposed to be a Meek Mill's diss. Until, like, the second time I listened through it, I was like, oh, fuck, this is that song that fucking Darren was talking about.
But do you see why that works? See why it also works? Because you could play it in the club, too.
Yeah, so, it was a perfectly fine freestyle, where, first and foremost, I was like, hey, look, fucking Drake has enthusiasm, and he actually sounds like he wants to record this, and he has some witty...
Woke the slumbering giant.
Yeah, like, this is actually, like, some of the most lyrical I've heard Drake in a really long time, and I didn't even think about it as a diss, but then I was like, dude, you, like, because it was so subtle, and if you have jabs and barbs that serious, that damaging that you're talking about, it shouldn't have been hard to just fucking come back and just fucking blow him out of the goddamn water.
We should have had a fucking Nas versus Jay-Z thing where it was like, dude, I don't know which one, because Drake had some good hits in there, and Meek should have had some fucking monster hits in there.
It could have gone back and forth a couple times.
But the problem with it was, you know, he didn't make a song that could have worked. Because, see, Back to Back was getting radio play. You want to know why? Because it works as a song.
It works as a hit single, yeah.
Yeah, Meek Mill's didn't work as a song. It worked as, I'm trying to figure out how to diss this person. Here, let me just throw this. And then I got this. First of all, the reason why he was dissing Drake, it was a stupid reason anyway. He should have just shut his fucking mouth and collected the money, but whatever. It was about, this is such dumb shit. Drake didn't tweet Meek Mill's album. I swear to God, that was the invoking thing that caused all of this.
Oh, God.
He was like, well, how come you didn't tweet my album? How come you're not promoting me? And Drake's like, fuck off. First of all, that's something you could have called him about. You could have just been like, yo, dude, you gotta tweet my new album, man. You're on it. Dude, it's fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Instead of going like, or you know what happened? Because that's probably how this shit worked. He probably called him, and he didn't respond. So he was like, well, how about this? I'm going to take it to everybody. But it's like, do you think that's the way it's going to work? Do you think he's going to be like, oh, thank you for publicly shaming me into promoting your album. Here you go.
And do you think that fucking using The Undertaker's music without asking was really the fucking best choice?
You know what would be funny? If he was like, he said, he gets this message from, you know, Meek Mill saying, hey man, tweet my new album. And he was like, oh sure, oh shit, my phone is dead. Here, I'm going to plug it in. I got to go take a shit real quick. I'm going to go tweet the shit out of promoting Meek Mill's album. He takes the shit, comes back, and he sees like 80 texts like, fuck you, how come you not promote my shit? What the fuck, man? And then he's like, alright, I'm about to. And he's like, almost finished the tweet. And then all of a sudden he sees like Meek Mill in his mentions saying like, fuck you for not tweeting my album. And then he's like, delete message.
Yeah, he fucking says he's gonna do it. Then he goes to sleep. Like he falls asleep and forgets to plug his phone in. And he wakes up to that. It's just like first thing in the morning, just like, what the fuck? No.
But here's what's funny to me. The first thing he should have hit him with, first of all, it should have been, because Drake would have came with some fucking ether for Meek Mill's ass. First thing he could have said, because remember, what he said was, oh, you didn't tweet my album? Well, actually, you know what this is really about? This is really about these reference tracks that one of your ghostwriters, Quentin Miller, yeah, he wrote this for you, and you just ripped this off. So, no, it's not about you tweeting my album. Actually, what it was really about was the fact that you're not an authentic rapper and you're fake. You see, you notice how a lot of these things happen online where people who do petty shit and then they try to twist it into something else? Mm-hmm. You know, the petty shit was, you didn't tweet my album, so I'm angry at you. But then he tried to twist it into, oh, no. See, he's fake anyway. I mean, because he didn't write his own tracks. It's like, literally, you recorded a song with him like a couple of months ago. In fact, you recorded two, because there's like a music video with you two hanging out. So you must not have minded too much when he was able to be profitable for you.
My fucking diss track, the fucking beat would start, and I would be like, you know what? Fuck it. Hey, so, who fucking wrote that shit for you? And, didn't one of that guys piss in your leg? Oh, by the way, like, it would just be, it would be a fucking rant video, but, like, rapid fire, real fast, like, hitting you with all these goddamn things to the point where, like, anyone listening can't even fucking keep up. I'm not staying on time. I don't fucking care about rhyming.
Did he smack the shit out of you outside of that club?
I'm just trying to decimate your character.
And the thing is, you wouldn't be making any of these things up. All you have to do is just Google, like, I don't know, shit that people have done to Drake. And it'll just be like, didn't Big Ghostface body you on that review? Matter of fact, let me just quote what he said real quick.
By the way, motherfuckers, if you look at my website, I'm gonna provide the links so you can check this shit for yourself, just to make sure that I'm not making this shit up.
Weren't you the one to talk about you ain't got no new friends, but next thing you do is you're photographed with all these motherfucking people? Ain't you the one that was also like...
I understand the whole formality of the diss track, but dude, if it really comes down to like, yeah, like, you're gonna look like a bitch if you don't fucking come back to his shit, like, you really gotta keep up. Dude, just fucking bring out the fucking big guns.
Yeah.
Why do it in a fucking, oh, I need to do it in this format? Man, fuck that.
Straight up, if somebody dissed me in a song, I would do a fucking Rap Critic episode about it.
About the diss track, yeah!
Like, that would be my diss track. It would be like, alright, let me deconstruct things that he said that were funny and things that he said that were kind of fucking lame. And automatically, that puts, the person above the fucking diss track, because it's like, I'm not even taking this seriously enough to be offended by it.
I'm fucking doing a Rap Critic episode on your diss, and I'm getting paid for it by Patreon. People are fucking paying me to diss your ass. That's how it works. So, old Rav, I looked up on Bandcamp just, like, new releases, most popular hip-hop albums to come out recently. And, Beneath the Toxic Jungle by Rav came up, and I'm gonna admit that the reason I picked this one is because of its crazy cool album cover. Like, this jumps out at you. This is what, like, in a time when people don't need to make decent or interesting album covers, especially when it's Bandcamp and there is no physical copy, and you don't really need an album cover, I saw this shit and I was like, alright, let me fucking check this out. Like, it's got a fucking, like a little anime kid, and then you click on the link and there's Japanese lettering on the side, so I was like, okay, see what the fuck this is about. Little did I know that this was a fucking Soviet, like a Russian-born immigrant who's currently living in the UK, as it says on his Bandcamp. Like, I wouldn't have known that, and you really can't tell either.
Yeah,
So don't think you're gonna listen to this and it's gonna fucking sound like Yakov Shmirnov. It's not like that. You seriously wouldn't be able to tell. There really is no accent here. But on Bandcamp right now, it's exordiummusic.bandcamp.com. But you can follow him, I am Rev, on Twitter, and he's pinned the link to the new album, which only came out just a couple weeks ago. And like I said earlier in the show, it's a free download, name your own price, which is awesome. On the Bandcamp site itself, there's 9 tracks, but if you download it, you do get a 10th bonus track, which is a little freestyle deal. I didn't know what to expect from this, especially after listening to the intro track. I wasn't really sure what the fuck this was about.
I was like, okay. I thought it was gonna be like some fucking Genius, you know how the Geniuses album started with the fucking kid introducing what was happening.
Oh yeah, my father worked for he was the most dangerous swordsman, or
he cut off the heads of 130 lords.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect, and there is kind of an underlining thing, but not too in your face. Anyway, basically, I'm just gonna come out and say straight up, we talked about this over the weekend. I've already listened to the CD 4 fucking times, and that's not something I could say about too many albums that we've listened to on the podcast. The Pusha album we were talking about was like 39 minutes, which I was like, all right, that's not bad. This clocks in at about 31-ish, and it flies the fuck by. There are a few tracks that I do wish were a little longer.
Yes. It was like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Hey.
it does end abruptly, some of these. No, but before I pass it off to Rap Critic with his initial thoughts, yeah, old school feel. It definitely has an old school charm. It doesn't take itself too seriously in the way that, you know, it's not, oh my god, this is so social conscious, this is, you know, this has a message. It's a very fun, relaxed listen, and not only do you get Rev, but you also get the rest of the cats from Exordium Music. You got Kill Bill, Jinzo the Trap Lord.
Who the fuck was that guy, by the way? I thought it was some sort of like cover for Tyler the Creator.
Oh,
because, you know, he'll do like the low voice thing.
Yeah, there's an odd assortment of characters on this album, but I loved all of them, and they all, well, I don't know about all of them, but I do see that a few of them do have their own releases on Bandcamp also that I will be checking out. Square, spelt with a C, I really liked him, his appearances on the album. He has his own 10-track.
Hey, wouldn't it be funny if, because remember for the Trap Lord guy, like the beat literally slowed down when he started rapping?
Oh, like he's the lord of the beat.
Like, what
he
if...
fucking has the power over it.
Yeah, what if every time he raps, like, the beat slows down?
Oh, that would be pretty cool.
Like, that would be a great gimmick. Like, the chorus is going, it's like, you have to fly and get your wings and go on to the road. We're ready to like, it literally changes BPMs, not like the, you know, the halftime thing. No, it literally goes from, like, 90 BPMs to, like, 80.
So, your thoughts on Beneath the Toxic Jungle by Rav?
I was not expecting it. I thought it was a really cool, it was chilled out, very, what's the word? Very jazzy.
Yeah.
Very sort of like
it reminded me of Tribe Called Quest at times.
Yeah. Kind of like an updated Tribe Called Quest feel. I really like the way the samples work. Like, it feels like I could find all of these samples on some sort of Miles Davis album or something like that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really beautiful. The Get Mine 2, which I don't know where Get Mine 1 is, but that was like the best song.
It might be on a previous release, but yeah, that's a great track.
That was kind of like I can tell, like, this has to be the lead single. Like, this has to be we're promoting this one. This is like the music video, the one that gets the music video, you know. And listening to it, man, it just felt like such a, like, man, this is what MTV, like, would have been playing. Maybe not on, like, the main thing 100 all the time, but this would have been, like, the little thing that they would have, like, hey, here's some love to this underground MC that we're going to give a little bit more light. You know, like, it's that sort of, like, hey, this is kind of cool. Like, don't you know, what was that? The Lavender Town, where he's just talking about, like, treating his hometown like it's Pokemon and how he's trying to get out. And, you know, like, that was really cool. Like, little things like that, little lyrical things. Beats were really nice. Not too many whack lines. His delivery every now and then can come off like a little strange. And especially on the last song, 1,000 Years in the Mountains, like, I kind of couldn't hear him.
Yeah, there was a bit times where, like, I'm just like, I was struggling a little bit, but that was really my only complaint. There weren't a lot of lines that really stuck out as being like, kind of.
Yeah, everything was kind of clever. I did really think it was weird when he was talking about, like, if nothing works, I could just Kurt Cobain myself or something like that. And
it was like, whoa, huh?
Yeah, it was like, the way you said it was a little too cool for that to, like, it was a little too, like, happy-go-lucky for that to be a thing to say like that. But then, like, at the bottom, if you read, he's like, you know, I'm battling with my depression, and, you know, like, that's the thing, so thank you guys for sticking with me. And then, like, to hear that lyric, it's just like, oh, whoa. Like, that,
I didn't see that until just now. Oh, man.
Like, you shouldn't be taking that lightly, like, because if you want us to know you intimately, I don't know, that should be treated with a little bit more gravitas, like.
I don't really know what else there is to say about this, besides that, I I don't want to speak for the both of us, but me personally, I would love to speak with Rav. I just want Rav's story. You know, like, I think we've talked about this before, about, I think we were talking about this when we reviewed Tokyo Tribe, about how hip-hop just kind of, like, spans the globe and finds itself in unusual and unlikely places. And, yeah, you wouldn't expect a 24-year-old born in the Soviet Union to bring us an album that was this fun and this re-listenable. And, yeah, I just want to know, like, I want to know so much about him and just this group. Like, this group of rappers on EXO. It just seems like such a under-the-radar, yeah, it's just like, if more people found out about, like, this could be good, you know? Like, this could be the next, like, good music group. Like, people could be talking about these fucks the same way they are, fucking Kanye and, fucking Pusha we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, no, you know, here's the thing. None of them came off as, like, who the fuck is this? I don't want to listen to that guy. Like,
no,
there's always,
yeah.
that always happens. In every group, there's that one guy who's just like, what the fuck why is, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, every time.
And this, I did not feel that in any way. Even with Jinzo the Trap Lord, it was still kind of like, this is really weird, though. Like, I want to hear, like, I want to know more, you know?
Yeah.
Even though it's like Trap Lord, like, okay, I think I know what he's going to be talking about, but, you know, it's still like the cool delivery and a different way of presenting yourself that I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think you're going to get a cool, swift listen with this. It's really nice. I love the song, the first song is called 1,000 Years in the Sea, and the last one's called 1,000 Years in the Mountains. And, you know, at the end he talks about, yeah, a snake that's lived 1,000 years in the sea and 1,000 years in the mountain turns into a dragon. And at the tail end, you hear, like, the Scottish guy who's like, he turned into a dragon.
But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5.
I'll give it a 4.
Okay.
Yeah, you know. I remember the 1,000 Years in the Mountains didn't impress me as much as I wanted it to.
Did you happen to hear the last track?
Yeah, the very last track. And Save Face as, I don't know what the title of that song is supposed to mean, but that one didn't strike me as much. But I felt like there was great material on here, especially in Adderall and Get Mine Too. Wonderful tracks like A Better Place. Unfortunately, short songs like Adderall, which was like, hey.
Yeah, I know. I was really, when that one cut off, I was like, fuck. Come on.
I hate it when people do that. When it sounds like it's gonna go on and it's really beautiful, and then they do that like immediate cut. Like that happened a whole bunch of fucking times on Because of the Internet, where you just be listening into it and just go,
yeah.
and it's like, dude, stop it.
The fucking now I didn't invite all these motherfuckers into my motherfucking house. Get out! And you're
house.
Like, yeah, and you're like, man, I was really feeling that. So yeah, maybe 5 might be a little over the top. I would probably.
This is the first time I've been the the guy who goes under.
Yeah, because even after saying that, I still would feel comfortable giving it a 4.5. I would still give it more than a 4, because if there was a physical copy of this album, I would have it. I would be ordering it now. But unfortunately, it is just a digital download. But still, as I said earlier, it is Name Your Price, which is very, very convenient.
I remember when Tech did that shit back in the day.
What's that?
Tech 9? He was one of the first guys who was like, he did a commercial where he said, hey, I've got this new album, name your price. It's like, go here, name your price. You know, you can get it for free, you can pay for it, any price you want. And people were like, what the fuck? Tech 9, you're insane.
Yeah, I remember.
No one would go for that.
I remember Radiohead did that also. But like really early on, where it was just like, So, do you not think that no one is gonna pay money? It's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people won't, but there will be some that do.
And the people who aren't gonna pay for it, they weren't gonna pay for it anyway.
Yeah,
Like, think
that
about
is
it like
true.
that.
Are we good to wrap up, you think?
We mentioned Childish Gambino, right?
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was news that we missed out on.
Oh, no. I don't know. What's going on? You know, it's funny. Like, when you're into an artist and, like, you're just following all the things that they're doing, and then you just stop, and then you go, like, hey, wait a minute. What are they doing?
Yeah, like, wait, is he doing anything? Because, like, last I heard, he was talking about that he might not even rap anymore. So I think at that point, I was like, I'm just gonna sit back and wait for an update.
You just immediately go, all right.
Yeah, like, I was like, you know...
Like, I ain't got time for this fucking, oh no, really or won't he?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit back and let you decide, and when you decide to drop your fucking surprise album, I'll be over here, not surprised, but I'll enjoy it. I'll enjoy it and I'll give it a listen, but I'm not gonna be like, oh no! When's the new... You know, you do you. I'm not about to fucking stress you out. I'm not about stressing the artists out. Oh my god, when's the new blah blah blah? Just you fucking it'll come.
Yeah, I do kind of find it annoying when people do that, where it's like, when are you gonna do this? When are you gonna do this? When are you gonna do this? It's like, dude, he's not gonna be like, oh, I didn't know people were wondering. Oh yeah, no, it was right here.
Oh fuck, it was on my table the whole time. I forgot to send it out. Shit.
It's like, give him some fucking time. When he does it, he does it.
Thank you guys very much for checking us out, and thank you very much for a fun 2015. That was a hell of a year. We got a lot accomplished. We fucking had our first musical guests on, Arabian Prince, Mega Ran, some I don't know, reviewers, I guess you could say, internet personalities, Anthony Fantano, D-Respect. It was a hell of a lot of fun.
We've got to get back on the show.
What's that?
Which I think it's now going to be officially a thing where we just say we got to get him back on the show, and he just we never get around to asking him.
Man, one of these fucking days that was a really that was a fun episode. We definitely need him back. But yeah, follow us Facebook, Twitter. Continue to show us your support on our YouTube pages and our Patreon, cause every dollar helps. Trust me. And download the show if you liked it, and give us a like or a heart on SoundCloud. Either way, you know, let us know you liked it. Leave a comment. We always read the comments, so it isn't falling on deaf ears. And
unless you're a dick, we're not reading your shit.
But thank you very much, guys, for checking us out. Going Off Podcast. Links are provided. Thank you so much. And I guess until the new year, I'm Muse.
And I'm Rap Critic.
Arrivederci.